Hello and welcome everyone to Down to Earth podcast. Yes, I said it. Down to Earth
What it
podcast. I am your first co-host, Demario Crosby. It's your second co-host,
Mr. Marcus Finley.
As you guys can see, we are in a different location.
Mm-hmm.
We had some things happen today that kind of threw us off the board, and now we're here. I'll let my boys start, give you guys a little kind of recap of what happened today, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So started out as a normal day. You know, we had our idea what we were going to talk about. Showed up to the place we usually record, and it was closed. We had it booked and everything. How you can have something booked at a place that's closed? You know, shame on
Beyond me.
Shame on that company. And you know, we were sitting there in the parking lot, and we were thinking, you know, we could just forget it and go on, do it next week. But
Go home.
then we kind of snapped out of that
Shut it down.
went on the realm of, you know, wanting to be consistent and keep cranking out these episodes week by week and kind of getting our mindset attuned to, you know, stuff's going to happen. We've had audio issues with the first couple episodes. Maybe not issues, but didn't sound as good as we wanted them to sound. A couple video issues, some editing issues, all that kind of stuff. And today was one of those. We could have just given up and said, let's just go edit a different video and wait till next week. But we ended up, you know, going through, you know, what if we record in the car? We were thinking maybe recording outside, and then we came up with the pros and cons that were associated with those possibilities, and then came up with a different idea of this undisclosed secret location.
None of your business.
None of your business at all, honestly.
None of your business.
I'm the only one with the keys. There's a lot of other people with the keys, I guess, but the secret society stuff, you know, you gotta sign it in blood to get in, so.
I'm not in that.
So I had to do that. So my finger hurts a little bit, but yeah. So that's going to be parched. The question that we talk about today has to do with adapting, and you know, every day you might tell yourself that you got something to do, and something's going to pop up. You know, if you got kids, the kids are not going to feel good. If you know you're out of gas, you don't want to go stop at the gas station. Your car doesn't start. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to the gym. All types of stuff like that. So I'll let Mark take away a little bit more on that that topic of discussion.
Yeah. Really comes down to this. This whole situation. It was new. It was weird. It sucked finding out that the last second getting there. But I guess we really wanted to just use this time and show you guys that, you know, the goal is to stay consistent with the things that you want.
We're here to stay.
The goal is also to figure out things, you know. I think that's a really, really big thing that a lot of people get into the mindset of when obstacles do come. It's over, you know, it's done, or it's, you know, it's all messed up, you know. For example, us right now, you know, we sat there for a little bit, we talked. Like you said, we weighed the pros and cons, and we came up with an idea, and now we're doing it, and it's here, you know what I mean?
And that's just one example. I mean, you got any of them. From you with, you know, we talked about your job stuff before and how that was an obstacle. You know, you could have just chose to jump right back into a career path, and then, you know, with me, same thing, different work paths or just stuff you're trying to do on the side, different activities or things that you're trying to push in your life.
Right.
And, you know, every day is going to be a challenge, and you kind of just got to take the punches while they come.
Yeah. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah. Shout out Muhammad Ali. But yeah, so that's really what we kind of just want to go over, and just kind of recap that, like, stuff's gonna always happen, you know, and you just have to be there to adapt, go through it, go from there. I don't know, what's an example of that happening to you personally, and you thought it was over, you thought it was all done, and you're like, wait, let me snap out of it. Because before you go, everything comes down to a mindset. And, you know, it kind of goes back to, I think it was the first episode we were talking about, just kind of like emotional like habits and stuff like that. And I feel like when things do happen, when obstacles come up, when problems come up, you go through what's called an emotional like flood or emotional overdrive, where all the emotions start to get in there, and that's the thoughts that you're like pushing out, that you're hearing the most. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's done. Oh, why did they tell me this? Why didn't they do that? And it like it
you
blocks
always think it's
you.
the end of your life.
Exactly. It blocks you from trying to find the fucking, the solution, which that's the goal of life, right? To find a solution to all the things, because the way that I look at it, problems are opportunities. One, problems are also gifts, because once you figure out that problem, then you're good. It's like with me, for instance. Once I figure out how to make $15,000 from eBay, I mean, I'm being the best position. You know what I mean? So my problem right now is
And it started out with that problem of not having a job.
So it's like
taking that.
I guess it's just a different way to look at problems rather than, I mean, that's how I was brought up, I guess, and like just the world taught me that like problems was something I wanted to avoid,
Yeah.
Or like in school, you wanted to avoid having the F and the D, and I mean, I had a bunch of those before, you know what I mean?
Should see my.
Yeah, that's actually pretty lit. I want to see if I can find mine. Well, for you guys to know, it's a what is it? The COD.
Oh, it's my transcript from COD from when I decided that college was not the thing that I currently wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
So that was actually a perfect example of the whole
That's
problem
actually-
thing, because before I told anybody, mom, parents, brothers, whatever,
Oh yeah.
that I didn't want to be doing that. I just wanted to jump into the workforce and start getting experience and working.
Mm-hmm.
That I just hid it under the table until that transcript got mailed to the house one day, talking about some.
Oh, woman!
And then for a while I was like, am I making the right decision? Everybody's gonna hate it. Nobody agrees with that decision. And that was kind of one of the first times where I thought you can't seek acceptance from anybody, really.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask for people's thoughts and stuff to maybe help gauge the extent of what you're looking at. If I don't want to do school anymore and I talk to somebody that made that same decision, I'm not going to go right away with everything that they're saying, because they have their own life. I'll apply bits and pieces to mine.
Yeah.
But then, if I talk to 10 people that all graduated and are all telling me, oh no, I would never do that, that's the worst decision you could make, education is life, blah, 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 blah. I have some older friends that, they still believe that school is number one. No matter what, stick it out for those years, you learn a lot, and all of that stuff. So it kind of depends on the more people you talk to. I feel like the more flooded your mind is going to be with
100%.
what you should do. And I wish I could pull up the stats to it, but I read it in a book lately where it said, you're going to have a good idea or just an idea for you to follow as a person, and you have to act on it within the first 3 minutes. If you don't act on that idea within the first 3 minutes and you start seeking approval from other people, then you get to the point where you're either going to not make that decision and end up regretting it later on. So, I've been getting better at, I got a lot of people that care about me in my life, and if I want to do something, what? That's crazy. Anyway, you see, that's disrespect, and that's what I deal with all the time, especially on this podcast too. It's supposed to be 50-50. Anyway, but no, because when you got not even a big circle, but people that you might actually somewhat care about their opinion, and you have something that you want to do, start a business, or hey, I'm going to quit my job and go all in on something, and if you take everybody's 2 cents, that's all you're going to end up with is 2 cents. You're still missing 98 cents of that dollar.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
But no, so I've kind of applied that in my line of thinking of, I'll have ideas of stuff I want to do, whether it's business stuff, whether it's stuff with this podcast, whether it's what I want to spend my time on with the gym, or, taking video games seriously, or not doing any of that and wanting to work on something that nobody knows what I'm working on. I keep asking, oh, do you think this is a good idea? And they say no. That no is going to negatively impact me in a way.
Yeah.
Even if I don't think it does, subconsciously, it's still going to take away a little bit of what you're trying to do. Right. So I've really been on that, trying to, if I have a good idea, put it down on paper and act on it right away. If I have a business idea that might help a friend that's in that industry, I tell them right away. I don't mull over it too long. And if they don't like the idea, then oh well. I mean, my favorite thing to do is come up with ideas.
Right.
And you know, I'll throw you fucking ideas all the time.
Every day.
Sometimes I won't even get a response. I'm like, crying. But yeah, that was kind of like a little rant on the aspect of, you know, kind of going back to today of not having a place to record and almost throwing in the towel. You could kind of apply that to, because even if you would have been like, oh dude, let's just forget it for today and go on with it, I could have just let that be like, oh, you know what, he said it, so that's what it's got to be. Good. Okay, fine. Yeah. But we're open enough where, you know, we're going to try and find
a solution first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it would have been really easy if I was like, well, I mean, fuck it, I'll just go home and go hang out outside on this beautiful day and be like,
because it's nice out.
I'll go play basketball outside. But no, we don't, you know, and that's the easy part. Because we easily could have done that. I could have been hooping 20 minutes ago and I would have been cool with it. But like, if we're trying to build a brand, build a business, and, you know, stick to it, even if this ends up not being the best episode, you know, we didn't really plan for it to go like this. It's totally not what we were going to talk about before. So, you know, even if you guys don't like this episode, we still at least, you know, we cranked out that number. You know, some people say quality over quantity, but I think, you know, starting out, consistency is key. And we might not even have people that really want to listen until we're 365 episodes in.
Yeah.
100 episodes in. And if we're only dropping one a week, that's 2 years. So, you know, if there's anything out there that you're trying to do, stop asking for people's opinions. Just do it. And if there is something that you're trying to do, ask people in that space. You know, I think one of the biggest things when I was thinking of starting an ATM business or a vending machine business, Facebook groups was huge. Like, I'm in a couple groups right now for stuff that I like to do, and you're surrounded by people that like aren't accepting failure. Like in the ATM group, I think there's over 10,000 people around the entire country, and you post a question, you'll get 50 different people trying to, hey, add me on Messenger, let's talk about it. You know, I've already got 50 ATMs, and then you got somebody that's got 5 ATMs. You got me who's just starting. You got the one guy that has an ATM in every city in the fucking country. So, you know, stop asking people that you think care, because they don't. And, you know, there's a way to find people that are doing what you're trying to do, whether it's music, video games, advancing your career, getting into sales. You know, I'd really urge you to look into Facebook groups, and you'll find something there for sure. Like, even shout out Mr. Lucas again. He's writing some books, Black Dragon Chronicles, available soon everywhere. I'll get a link to that too. He's in an author Facebook group. Tens of thousands of authors, and he's become a better writer because of that. But, you know, asking me how to write books ain't gonna work. Because I can't even write you a picture book, so.
Wow.
You know. So yeah.
Oh man, getting little stick figures.
I can't even draw that, bro. You should see my extent of artistic ability. But yeah, I think that's a really good point, you know.
It is.
There's people around you that say they care, and they'll give their 2 cents based on
their experience.
Or
their, you know what I realized, not to cut you off?
No, you're good.
But a lot of people, including myself sometimes, I'm never gonna, you know, exclude myself, but, you know, when a new idea is brought to surface, people respond out of fear to it. So, like, for example, my girl brought up this idea of, I forgot what it was called, but it's basically, you travel to like a different place, let's just say Hawaii, for instance, right? You travel there, you work for someone that needs like help around the house or whatever, some stuff like that. So I guess you'll pay for your flight, but like being there, food and stuff, whatever is included, they'll like pay for that stuff. And all you have to do is work like 5 hours, 4 hours, and the rest of the day is all for you.
Like a live-in nanny kind of thing?
Kind of. Yeah. I forgot what it was called, but my first thing was like, what could go wrong? You know, instead of like, wow, that's how, and I wasn't like, oh no, I don't want to do it.
Right.
And like, you know, I had to catch myself, but that was like the first thought of, okay, what if we're working or something, and you know, I'm working, you know, in the kitchen, and you're working in the living room, and then the person that's there starts fucking with you and stuff. You know what I mean? Just like I don't know, just like fear thoughts or whatever. And it's like, you know, you got to be able to identify, okay, what this person is telling me, that's a fearful thought that's coming out. I still let them, you know, talk about it, whatever. But like you were saying, let people give you advice, but you only take certain amounts of it, or, you know what I mean, certain pieces of it, instead of, oh, this means the world. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it sucks to try to get advice from people that you do care about, and they tell you stuff, and that's just like, whoa, I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't care about that part anymore, but that's definitely a hard part when.
And it's like,
the closest people you go to
exactly
have nothing but negative things to say.
You could say that those people, opinions don't matter, but still, like you said, in the back of your
It's
mind,
gonna affect you
constantly, it's
somehow,
like
right.
you're still thinking about it because like, damn, this person doesn't improve. Doesn't mean you can't, go towards it, but I think that was just a really good point to like point out that like you need to be able to identify what language people are coming from when they're saying things.
Yeah.
Fearful, abundant, or, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
open-minded. I think that's a really good point too.
And I think we're really good at that because when we throw an idea to each other, it's usually filled with nothing but positivity. But then, we'll take that realistic step of, okay,
What
but
if?
here might be your 3 biggest problems.
Yeah.
Make sure you check on that.
Yeah.
But, I still got your back regardless of what way you're
Regardless.
going to go with that.
Yeah.
Even if I might
We
not.
do really
personally-
good on like our conversations though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like definitely if there's
I mean,
something
even
that comes out.
that
I'm
World
like,
Metro stuff. I
oh,
never
yeah.
liked that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. I liked it, dude.
Can I bring that up for a second?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
you already did. What the fuck?
No, I'm not gonna bring it up. So a while ago when we were younger, he started out doing a, call it whatever you want, pyramid scheme, MLM, pyramid scheme, whatever.
Network marketing.
And I was always a opponent to it. I was like, bro, it's not what you think it is. It's not going to go the way that they say it's going to go. Blah, 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 blah. And even though I hated it, no matter what, like I didn't want to get behind it at all. Once I saw how deep in he wanted to be with it and really push it, I had no excuse not to at least be supportive as I can, even if I don't personally agree with it, because we're 2 different people. We're trying to do 2 different things. Everything's different. And I mean, I even came up with that business plan one time, and then sure enough, I was right. That shit blew up.
That's
sold the
when COVID,
company.
That's when COVID started.
Yeah, they sold the company. Went out of business.
I think
And
they're back in business
they
now,
didn't, under a different name and 80 different products and all that stuff. But
Possibly.
I don't know anybody that's in it making money now that wasn't at the top. But that's an idea of even if the people around you have that are doing something that they love that you might not. That's not an excuse to not still
be supportive.
Even if you're not. Even if you just have to be verbally supportive, you don't have to help them in any way.
That's big fact.
But you don't have to bash them.
Yeah.
That's
stupid.
Right. I'm sure my mom would have something to say if I decided to be a full-time poker player. Some people some people just look at that as like gambling and like, oh, that's bad, gambling's bad. But in my head, like poker's not even gambling. Gambling is blackjack, slots, and anything the actual casino controls. But to me, poker isn't gambling. And some people say that's a problem. I'm going to talk about, wait, you're doing what now?
But
You gonna see me on TV?
But I mean, that poker stuff is fun. I've been getting into it.
I know.
And I've been enjoying it. I got it on Xbox still. Do you still have an Xbox 360?
Yeah, it's at
See if
my
we can
mom's
play that.
actually. It's at my mom's.
So cute.
You can't play 2 players on that though.
Can you? I thought you could play online.
I thought we never played that one online. We only had to.
They
We
have
always had to
one
download the other ones.
I don't know if you
Maybe they got it now.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, so be supportive. You never know.
Facts.
And
Big
why not? This is more of like a little toxic trait of that.
Go ahead.
Even if you don't support it and it ends up taking off and they get there and you were someone that had their back, you might reap a little bit of the benefits of whatever they got. And that's true though. That's not even like.
I mean, it is true.
And that's facts.
You can't.
Yeah, bro, you keep doing that.
That's true.
Yeah, good. And then they make it talk about, don't forget about me.
I told you could do it.
I told you. I got text right here. Oh man,
That's fucked.
that's
But-
crazy.
but
No, that's toxic. That's toxic.
Yeah, I mean, big time. But.
And we're trying to be down to earth. Get it? See what I did there? Oh man.
That's hilarious. Yeah, man. It's kind of just want to share a piece. Being in here where we're at right now and recording, honestly, it's kind of like it threw me off a little bit. There's no microphone. I don't know. Like I just usually we can record and we just go through one take. Like today we
Just
have to
take
stop.
number 3?
Yeah. And
It's hot as fuck in here
I
right
was
now.
talking. I lost. I just lost everything. I don't know. Just really adapting to everything. I don't have a lesson. I just want to share that.
Yeah, of course.
And just be like, even though everything was off and stuff like that, like we're still doing it. Very proud of, the situation and how we handle it, and look at us now. Like, when it first started, I was sitting there, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to go home. That's why I called them, like, bro, you might as well just turn around, bro.
Oh, I was like, bro, I'm 5 minutes away already. We might as well just wait till I get there.
So I was just, I don't know, I like it. I like,
It's a challenge.
like I said, life happened for you, not to you. This was thrown at us for a really good reason. Because, bro, I looked through my email, there's no, like, notifications of, like,
Yeah, we didn't drop the ball anywhere.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's the part that's, like, hardest, but, like, people need to.
You can't control everything.
You can't. And like, you think you can.
And right when you
that's
think
what
you
wanna
can,
do.
that's when life's going to say, yeah, let's knock you down a little bit.
Do it.
Yeah, because we don't have a microphone because the
Yeah.
place that we go to, we use their microphones
Yeah.
and their audio setup and stuff like that.
Literally.
So this kind of just even makes it more for me, once we do get our own stuff, continue using that. But
Yeah.
being able
Yeah.
to be mobile would be dope.
Honestly.
Even if
Honestly.
stuff like today happens where we didn't drop the ball, luckily, at least the phone can do enough with the audio and stuff.
Yeah.
But, if we just had a little backpack full of all the gear we needed to be mobile anywhere.
Oh. One day. Hey,
live
soon.
from New York.
Definitely soon. What is this? This
Live
is
from the poker table.
this is episode 6. Yeah. So again, unless you have some other stuff.
No,
to say.
I think this
About
turned
that.
out better than expected for the situation that was presented to us.
Definitely. I'll give you kudos. Using our resources.
You might not have seen it if you're listening to the podcast. We just shook up and got real with it.
But again, we appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys subscribing,
Commenting.
giving advice, because we have definitely some people give advice, give questions. So we appreciate that, and I'm honestly loving this process of going through this.
Learning.
Especially with my boy. It's been fun. It's been great. So
We just need AC in this place.
that's it. And
I'm getting hot.
I swear. That's why I keep
I
sipping
need
my
some water.
bro.
I'm not trying to step off the camera to get some water. So we might as well wrap this up before I pass out. SLV.
Again, guys, this is Down to Earth Podcast. Yes, we said it.
What
Down
it do?
to Earth Podcast, the place to be yourself and express yourself.
What? I'm about to say, wait a minute. When did we
When
start
did that
saying
come?
that? Somebody
But yeah.
else definitely had that coin for
That was my old
Oh.
yeah. But thank you guys for watching. Please tune in next week. Peace.
Peace.